Guys, there's a ton of drama online about Taylor Swift fans getting price gouged to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars for front row seats on her upcoming North American tour. So people are absolutely livid because, as soon as tickets went on sale for these concerts, they were instantly sold out, and most fans are forced to buy at exorbitant prices on secondary markets. And you might say, hey, yeah, totally, the internet's talking about this, but what's this got to do with crypto? Like, why are you talking about it? Well, as I see it, fundamentally, online ticket sales are broken. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how they can be fixed with blockchain technology and Web 3.0. And we're going to use this exact example to spell out exactly how that can happen. I'm going to talk about all that as a blockchain developer myself who works with this technology on a daily basis. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step-by-step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so let's get into this. Let's set the stage for exactly what happened with the Taylor Swift ticket, disaster, and talk about how most concerts sell tickets in the first place to see how it's fundamentally a broken model so we can talk about how blockchain can improve it. So basically, when most major artists, plan a tour, and they're going to sell tickets, what they do is they announce ahead of time that, on a certain date, we're going to start selling tickets for our North American tour, or like wherever they're going, right? And then essentially people just get on the website, like Ticketmaster, tickets go on sale at X time, and everybody's sitting there waiting for the sale to go live, and they just try to frantically add tickets to their cart and then pay all these crazy fees at the checkout, and then hope that their transaction actually goes through and they can secure the tickets for the event. But what most people are going to find out is that ticket sales sell out instantly, and it's especially for major tours like this, and that they're forced to go buy them on secondary markets, often at exorbitant prices, especially if they want it right now. And so this is an example of how this is broken, because really they don't sell out because rabid fans are sitting there buying all the tickets. Most of the time they sell out is because ticket flippers or bots are sitting there just scraping the pages and trying to buy them as fast as possible so that they can be sold in secondary markets. And it makes for a terrible experience for actual fans of the artists, okay? So that's the nature of the problem. We're going to talk about how crypto can fix that in a minute. But let's talk about what Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster tried to do to fix this problem. I say Taylor Swift, like her team, right? And everybody that's involved trying to make this problem better. So the strategy here was to try to keep the prices low, okay? And then keep people in the verified fans network, allow them to have a pre-sale to get the tickets at a fair price before they go on public sale, right? To try to mitigate this problem. But really, this attempt had the absolute opposite effect. Basically, everything sold out in the pre-sale, and then everybody basically now has to buy these on secondary markets. So what happened? Well, number one, it's way too easy to game the system to get in the verified fans network. So a lot of the purchasing activity in the pre-sale was from bots who weren't actual individual people. Okay, and the second thing is, you're just getting slapped in the face with a basic principle of economics, which is supply and demand, and what happens when you fix prices, okay? It doesn't matter if you're talking about minimum wage jobs, and in fact, if you're talking about housing inventory or food inventory. Anytime you fix prices and artificially keep them low or high, that's going to have different unintended consequences. Namely, when you keep prices low, that leads to shortages. That's exactly what happened in this case. When you keep the prices low, it's way too easy to game the system to get in and purchase everything early. It incentivizes bots to take more risky behavior to get as many tickets as possible so they can flip them on secondary markets, and that's exactly what happened. And while the intention was to try to help fans have a better experience and get tickets at more affordable prices, that's really the opposite of what happened. And Taylor's issued huge apologies to her community. They criticized Ticketmaster pretty heavily. And so everybody realizes that there's something wrong with this ticketing problem, and every solution that we try to pursue does not actually accomplish a good end result. So what are some things that we could do to make this better, and how could blockchain actually do that? Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. All right, so the first thing you have to understand is that basically concert tickets can easily be modeled with non-fungible tokens or NFTs, okay? So I'm going to get into the details and exactly how this would be implemented. So I'm not just saying, hey, turn everything into an NFT ticket. That's the solution to the problem. It's actually a little bit more advanced with that. But the first thing you have to understand is NFTs. So what are they in the first place? Well, most people think about NFTs as like the digital collectibles, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, or something like that. That's just one example of an NFT use case, okay? For a long time on this channel, I've talked about, anything that's non-fungible that has value can very easily be modeled with NFTs, from physical real estate to ownership of other physical items, and then a claim on physical real estate for a temporary time. That's basically what concert tickets are, okay? So they're a perfect use case for NFTs. And what's really great about them is because they're powered by smart contracts is they're programmable. They can be made to have very specific behavior on a blockchain, and then anybody can program the transferability, the ownership of that, and all that type of stuff. So step number one is basically to take concert tickets and turn them into non-fungible tokens on the blockchain. All right, so once you've made concert tickets NFTs, you have a couple different options, okay? But the main benefit is that you have something that's on a public blockchain that's programmable, and because it's programmable, then you can add all these extra options with code on the chain itself, okay? So one option is basically to make concert tickets more like airline tickets, okay? Where basically, once you've got it, you have to show proof of identity that it's actually you who purchased it, and that it's therefore non-transferable to somebody else with a different identity, okay? So this could prevent essentially bots from getting online and then, buying the tickets and then selling to other people on secondary markets. Well, you wouldn't necessarily be able to sell it on the secondary market if it wasn't transferable to a different identity, okay? Now, that's just one option, and I realize that, makes things potentially more limiting, but it's all things like you could do, like, essentially refund the ticket back to the issuer to get your money back, and then they could sell it at the same price. Or maybe, you could transfer it to somebody else with the original issuer through escrow, like at the exact same price. I realize that could lead to side deals where maybe somebody pays you under the table to transfer the tickets. I get that part. But if you implement this next step, that can greatly reduce this problem, which is basically using blockchain-based identity solutions to prove unique humanity for each person who, purchases a ticket. So what do I mean by this? Well, essentially, whenever you go buy tickets, you can very easily do things like limit to, one per customer, right? You're probably not going to do that because what if you want to buy something for a date or like more people in your family? You could put some sort of reasonable limits on this, like, 5 per customer or 10 per customer. That's still probably going to drastically reduce the number of, bots that would go scrape these things for other people. But at the end of the day, what you want is some sort of blockchain-based identity issuer that says that you are a unique human, okay? And that you have to prove that in order to purchase a ticket. And I realize that there is some of this already built into ticketing systems, okay? But you can actually make this problem more airtight if you use third-party ID issuers based with on-chain ID issuers, okay? And you have actual blockchain wallets that do this. Now, there's an additional level that you can implement to this, which essentially is zero-knowledge proofs that can prove that you are a unique human whenever you buy the ticket, but you don't actually have to tell people who you are, okay? So basically, you could purchase tickets and say, hey, it belongs to this blockchain wallet, but we don't need to know what their name is, to help anonymity for this type of thing. But we just need to know that you aren't out there making multiple transactions and that you had to go through the hoops to set this identity, and that you're not out there just, giving these tickets to other people, because we're not going to let you transfer them to other wallets, or you have to transfer them through our original ticketing issuing service to the other wallet in order to make that transfer with no profit to yourself. All right, so those are some ideas on how, these different pieces can come together to really make this problem a lot better with blockchain technology and Web 3.0. Now, we have different levels of progress towards each of these things, and they all have to get to a certain level where we can plug them in together before we can, fix this problem on a widespread scale. But we already have the foundations for this. It's just a matter of time where each of these pieces can get better and can actually get adopted, okay? We got different projects out there working on ticketing inside of NFTs. Again, it's not a sponsored video, just an example. Different projects working on Web 3.0 identity and ways to prove that you are uniquely human for even social media accounts and things like that to cut down on spam activity on social media as well. So really just got to get all these pieces together in order where we can really get that, benefit that I was talking about for the ticketing industry. But the biggest thing that's so critical here is that there's a huge incentive to move towards this, okay? Because, we have, major ticketing giants like Ticketmaster, okay, who have a huge amount of market share, arguably like a monopoly in the space. And so many artists who have this problem where their fans, the hardcore fans have to pay exorbitant prices. And there's a ton of room for basically a competitor to come into space and build disruptive, game-changing technology with Web 3.0, exactly like how I'm talking in this video, and ways to do it in a decentralized way that can actually benefit the artists even more, where they can cut out the middlemen for the ticketing issuers themselves. So that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps these videos out so the more people learn about blockchain. And if you're as fast in this technology as I am, you want to get your hands dirty and become a blockchain developer, land your first 6-figure job, I can show you how to do that over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. Okay, you don't have to be an expert to get started right now. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.